Hi guys, welcome back to Inox Dine with me, Ben, here for another Christmas special. Last week we did chocolate truffles. This week we're going to jump straight into doing some mince pies. So to make your mince pies feel a little bit extra special, we're actually going to make our own short crust pastry and then fill them with some mincemeat, some pork mincemeat. So without further ado, let's just crack straight on with it. So for this we're going to start off with our flour and our butter, and all we're going to do here is we're going to rub the butter through, so make sure that the butter is actually soft before you start. You don't want hard butter, otherwise it just makes your life harder. So nice soft butter, and we're just going to rub that butter through as if you're making a scone. If any of you've ever made a scone before, you're looking for that nice crumb texture. So once all that butter is nicely incorporated in there, it'll look like a crumb almost. So just rub that through. So once all that butter's mixed in, guys, you're looking at quite a thick crumb looking. You just want to make sure that all that butter's rubbed in. It'll probably roughly take you about 5 to 10 minutes to rub it through, depending on how quick you work. You just don't want any lumps of butter left through the mix, at which stage you will add your sugar. Just give that a quick rinse, rub through. Once that's rubbed through, I'm going to make a little well in the bottom of the bowl. I'm just going to chuck in our egg and mix that through until it all starts to come together. Might be quite wet at this stage, guys, so don't let the pastry put you off. Get it all together so it comes to a nice clump. Do it in the bowl to start off with, and then we'll turn it out onto the tabletop. And turn it out now. And all we're going to do is just clump it all together. Roll it. Grabbing all that stuff, extra bits that have run off. Just keep rubbing it until it creates a smooth ball. What we would then do is we would cover that in cling film. We'd stick that in the fridge for 2 hours just till it firms back up, and then we'll crack on with the rolling out of our dough to start making our mince pies. So guys, once the pastry's been chilling for two hours, it should have firmed up nicely there. We're going to then start to build our mince pies. So we'll need a cake tin or cupcake tin, and we're just going to give that a light dusting of flour so that the pastry doesn't want to stick to the sides. A nice dusting over your mould. Put that to the side. A nice dusting of flour on your bench. This is going to be for we're rolling out our pastry. Pastry on. Rolling pin, give that a dusting over the top, and then use the rest of the flour in your hand just to put some flour over there. But flatten it out so you've got a nice starting point, and just gently roll out, being nice and evenly, and don't press down too hard. Let the rolling pin do the work. Keep turning the pastry as well. Turn it over, some of that flour off. Alright guys, so I'm about 2 mil thick, I would say. So what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to start stamping my shapes out. So I'm going to do 3. 3 for now, and I'll see how much mixture I've got left over. That's 1, 2, 3. And then you'll need a smaller ring just that'll fit the top of the pastry, the tart ring. So that's about right for me. And then a bigger one that goes over the top just to obviously line the sides of the walls of the cupcake mould as well. So we'll start off with the bottoms, so that's just going to go straight in to our mould. Push it down, make sure that all them corners are filled, there's no air pockets underneath. Guys, once you've added your last pastry ring, we're going to start adding our filling. A nice generous blob so it kind of protrudes out of the pastry above it. So probably about that much, I would say 1.5 spoons, just in there, and then do the same along the rest of them. So it's 1 spoon and another spoon. Once all our mince pie tart cases are filled, we're now going to just have an egg wash, which is what I've done here, is 1 egg with a bit of milk in there, and all we're going to do is just rub the egg wash around the sides of the pastry cases just to act as a glue for when we stick the tops on. So guys, you've all egg washed them all, we're just going to pop the tops on. So over, pressing down around the sides so that glue sticks to the top. Once they're all topped with the pastry, we're just going to pierce it with a knife just on the top, just so that some of that steam can come out. So just a nice pierce through the top. So pierced. We're just going to egg wash them again, just get a nice colour on them when they're cooking in the oven. Like I say, if you had a fluted ring, it would leave that nice sweet look to them, whereas mine look more like pies at the moment. Like savoury pies, more than sweet pies, but they'll still taste just as good. Finally, once they're all egg washed, all we're going to do is top it with a bit of caster sugar, so a bit of sprinkle of caster sugar over the top. It's like a seasoning, just give that texture and colour on the top. And that's going to go in an oven at 200 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how brown and coloured they look. So guys, this is the finished product that you'll obviously get out of your oven. Now that nice golden colour on the top. Obviously if you had a fluted edge, you would have a nicer finish than the ones I've got. Mine look more like pork pies than they do mince pies, but I can assure you they are mince pies. But like I say, if you had that ring, it would give you that traditional look of a mince pie. So just to finish them off, I'm just going to drizzle them with a bit of icing sugar, just to kind of make them look a little bit more sweet than savoury at the moment. And that's kind of what you're working with. I hope you've had an interesting session with me. Hope you can take some valuable lesson. Obviously you can use short crust pastry for pies, other pies other than mince pies. So I just hope you can take some valuable tips away from this lesson, and I hope you have a fabulous Christmas. Thanks for tuning in, guys.